Game started.
Colonel Mike. Okay. Yeah, pretty picture. Okay, let's try a Sicilian. Okay, a knight c3 Sicilian. Let's play the knight to c6. Oh, okay. Sometimes this knight c3 is a preliminary to playing the what they call it, the Grand Prix attack, right, with f4. But it looks like he has different ideas, although maybe he could still play f4. That might fit in this scheme, f4, knight f3. So I'm sort of waiting to see what he does here. And he sets up this kind of pawn triangle. Not a triangle, he sets up this pawn wall here, or line of defense. So this is a closed Sicilian of some sort. Fianchetto. Let's see, his knight can jump into b5 here, hitting these squares. Might be a bit annoying. So let's defend that pawn. I want to play a6 and b5 myself. And if he plays bishop to h6, I'm going to castle and let him exchange that bishop. But let's go ahead and get in my move of b5. I had to stop and check. He has a discovered attack on the knight by pushing the pawn here, but the knight is defended. So I think tactically I'm still okay here. I want to get my bishop to b7. But if he plays the bishop there, I have to castle to defend my bishop. I don't want to exchange and invite his queen into h6. That's a pretty good square for his queen. And sometimes can be hard to chase away from there. Okay, and then there goes the f4. So just kind of a delayed f4 attack. So I still want to put my bishop on this diagonal. I think it looks like a good diagonal. And if he pushes ahead with f5 here, I can take it and then take with the knight. Now I don't know what my next move is. It could be b4 to force this knight to move, or it could be d4. He's doubling on the f file. Could be f4 to shut down the f file attack. How about knight to knight d4? He takes, I take, this pawn moves, and then I play e4, e5 to support the pawn on d4. If he takes, I take back with the pawn. That might be good. Let's try it. It's always nice to throw in a few disruptive moves. As your opponent is building up his attack, you don't want to just let it go on unimpeded. Yeah, okay, so he ignores me, though. It does that anyway. So he was not tempted by taking the knight. Okay, but if he doesn't take the knight, can I play f5? He takes, I take, and looks like a reasonable position. Let's see, he takes, yeah, I would take with the knight, and he chases it away. I just want to have this e-pawn in reserve for playing e5. So let's try that. This bishop is hanging. If he pushes, I have to take his bishop. If he takes, I have to take his bishop first. And I think that's okay. So he takes the knight here. And he goes there. Okay, so now, in this case, I was going to play e5 to support the d4 pawn. But I could consider taking on e4. Pawn takes. He could take back with the knight or the bishop. I mean, the pawn or the bishop. Yeah, I guess that doesn't want anything. Okay, so let's play e5. He takes over here. I have to remember to take the bishop first. And then if he takes my e-pawn, then I can take back with the pawn. So yeah, time to think. I guess he's got to calculate the best continuation here, whether it's better to exchange or not. I don't think the exchanges help black a whole lot, but it does. It may leave me with the backwards pawn here. Yeah. I also have, if he takes back with the king, bishop takes, king takes, queen, queen d5 check is a possibility. Pawn takes, I might consider e4 there, but I guess that's no good. He just takes it. So he leaves it there in suspense and brings his queen in, which is a good idea. Oftentimes a good idea. So the knight jumping into here or here might be a threat. Let's unpin my knight though, so I'm free to take here. And also adding support to the f5 point. So now if he takes, I don't have to take back. He does that instead. He attacks the pawn with his bishop. So that would be winning a pawn, wouldn't it? Pawn takes. I can't take back with the pawn because the queen is pinning this one. So pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and no more. Okay. Let's see. I could just unpin. Maybe that's the right thing to do. If I just move my king to h1, then on pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, rook takes. Well, I can throw in a pawn takes there somewhere. But, well, I'm still losing a pawn there, it seems. Well, better losing a pawn than losing a piece, I guess. So, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes, and he has a queen and a rook there attacking this poor pawn. Looks pretty bad. So, if he takes here, I have knight takes. If he pushes the pawn, what do I do then? Oh, actually, I have to worry about the queen. Could play queen d5, threatening mate. Then he would need to block that diagonal or just bring his bishop back. That would just lose the tempo, and I would bring my queen back to here. Well, it would be about even. Let's just get my queen out of the discovery path of that pawn. And if he plays pawn takes, I take back with the knight. And this rook is protected here. And you know, if I can trade off enough pieces, I can play queen to d5 with great effect. d5 or even c6. I guess d5, because I will probably need to defend this point on e4, e5. Well, the knight's defending it currently. So rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes.
Check.
Oh, just because I don't want his
Check.
queen coming back down here and threatening me. And then maybe I'm threatening queen to f3 here. And he's threatening to take there. Okay, so let's defend things. Bishop takes, pawn takes, because I need to hold on to this pawn. There's a queen check here and a queen check here. And unfortunately, I can't guard both of them. And beyond this diagonal, if I move my queen to c6, it allows a check down here. And if I put my queen to d5, it allows this check here, which is probably the more deadly check. Okay, but if I go queen c6, he's just going to play bishop to bishop d4 anyway. Bishop e4. Queen c6, bishop e4, bishop, queen down here. Queen c2, but I'm probably in trouble after that. Okay, let's bring the bishop into the game. So I can take the knight. King takes. And bishop has no other square to go to, really. That's unfortunate. Well, let's just bring the bishop back here. I take it back. And when I give the bishop away for nothing, I don't have too many pieces here that are helping out for the defense. Okay, I'm thinking about playing queen to he played his queen to h6. I was thinking about playing my queen to f8. Getting on this diagonal, on this line, I can go here, pinning that bishop. Okay, so the queen can come in along these diagonals. The bishop can come in along here and here. I think taking that knight queen takes, pawn takes, and then winning with the 2 pawns against 1 over here on the king side. Might be a good enough plan for white. Oh, but he can't take with the bishop. I pinned the bishop. Okay, so he'd have to take with the queen, and then I have pawn takes. Okay, so that's not an option. Just pushing forward with the pawns. The knight is pinned, unfortunately. Yeah, so if he were to play h5 here, what would I do? Well, now I could trade queens, and it might be a useful thing to relieve the pressure. I think he had me. I think he had me there because my knight was pinned. Oh, but his bishop was hanging too. Okay, that was the other thing. It was not only pinning the bishop, but the bishop was hanging. So he comes back here. He defends the bishop. And what have I got? Do I have anything better than taking the queen? I don't really see it. Plus, I'm getting low on time. Yeah, he can come over here and harass my pawns on the queen side. Bishop c8. I play a5. Bishop a6, and I play b5. Maybe I should have grabbed a pawn over here while I was at it. Of course, that's dangerous. Okay, so he's going to let me take that pawn, but if I take it, he plays b3. I go here. He can play c3 or c4. He can't actually defend it. So bishop here, b3, bishop here, c3, bishop here. The pawn comes forward again. Do I ever get out of this? Oh, I can get my bishop to this diagonal. Let's grab the pawn. What the heck? You really have to think ahead a bit before playing these crazy moves. And if he tries something else, well, he has to move this pawn or he's just going to lose it. And I also have the idea of pushing these queenside pawns. Yeah. This is my winner. I don't want to give that away right now. My outside pass pawn, I can win with that one. Now, I might give away the b pawn just to free my bishop. Yeah, so now I have an outside pass pawn, which is gives me some winning chances. And that's interesting. So let's bring the knight over. I'm going to take these pawns too if he doesn't stop me. Like that. It's not so easy for him to defend everything. So now, okay, knight here, here, here. I want to get to this square. Okay, here, here, here. So knight 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm protecting that. The king can come over 1, 2, 3. So he can get there in time. So it's better
time warning
for me to go after these pawns, which he can't defend. And this pawn over here is just just a problem pawn for him to keep track of. If his king gets too far away, though, I want my knight to be free to travel. So knight here, here. I didn't want to have my knight in a passive role defending a pawn. Knight to here attacks his pawn. Knight to here, knight to here. Here and then here. So, okay, so he's protecting that one. Let's go this way. He has to go here to stop my knight from coming this way, and he can't get to that square. So I can come here, then he attacks the knight, and then I go here. Yeah, I think his king wandered too far away. If his king had followed a direct path... no, his king can get to this... Oh, no, he can't. My pawns control these dark squares. So his king can't get to... right?
Check.
And now I can queen the pawn and win the bishop. This should be an easily winning game now instead of a difficultly winning game.
White resigns.
Okay, yeah, I think I would have been able to
Incoming
wrap
challenge.
that up. Okay, I'll accept the game.
Game started.
So anyway, I will do a postmortem as usual and see you guys later. Bye.